First of all, let's clear up what love is not. It's not that stuff you see in romantic films. Love is not synonymous with sex. It's not limited to the physical. Love is not merely a feeling or even an emotion. It's not those warm fuzzies you get when you're around someone you're attracted to. Indeed, real love is so much more than that. Okay, smart guy, so just what is love then? Well, I'm glad you asked. To find out, let's go to the book of answers, the Bible. We're going to look at the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians. Now, the first 3 verses tell us that it doesn't matter what great things we do or accomplish or attain or whatever, that if we don't have love, all that stuff amounts to nothing. Like my daddy would say, that don't amount to a hill of beans, boy. We read a little further and we start to see the characteristics of real love. Verse 4 says, love is patient, love is kind. It is not envious. Love does not brag. It is not puffed up. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. Patient, kind, not jealous, not boastful or haughty. Yeah, that's part of love. Then verse 5 tells us this about love. It is not rude. It is not self-serving. It is not easily angered or resentful. Man, this love thing just seems like it's getting harder and harder to do. But wait, there's more. Verses 6 and 7 say this. It is not glad about injustice, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. What? You telling me that loving someone means I got to put up with all their baggage and irritating character traits? Yep. And you better hope they put up with yours too. Oh, but there's still more. Verse 8 just drops a bomb in your lap with this first 3 words. Love never ends. Now it goes on to talk about other things that do have a time and then end, but love just keeps on enduring. Love is forever, y'all. It's not just something that people share for one night, a few weeks, or months, or even a few years and then just call it quits. Nuh-uh. Hey, love is like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going. Now, as we've seen, this chapter sets the bar pretty high. So high, in fact, that a lot of people probably think no human is even capable of that kind of love. So the word gets thrown around, out of context, watered down, until what's left isn't even close to what true love is. What this world views as love is often a perverted or corrupted version of the original, so polluted, in fact, that it loses its meaning. Now, verse 11 seems to allude to this world view of love as childish, saying this, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child, but when I became an adult, I set aside childish ways. In other words, we need to grow up and start learning how to really love. Now that we've learned the true characteristics of biblical love, how do we put it into practice? Well, we needn't look any further than the example that Jesus gave us in how he lived and treated people. He showed love by teaching others how to treat their fellow man. He showed it by serving others, praying for them, healing them, forgiving their sins, and ultimately dying for them. Okay, I hear what you're saying, dude, but I can't teach or heal people, and I sure don't want to die for anybody. Check this out, y'all. Go back to the love chapter. What principles or characteristics of love did Jesus show by doing the things that he did? Well, let's see. He was certainly patient and kind, and he did bear their sins on the cross and endure their punishment for those sins. See, the point is, Jesus did everything he could do. He gave of himself rather than being selfish. If you want to show real love for someone, put that person's needs above your own. You might ask, why is learning about this real love so important? Well, verse 13 of the love chapter tells us, and now these 3 remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. See, love is God's greatest commandment to us. It's what all the other commandments hinge on. I submit to you that love is a choice you freely make and a commitment. See, you wake up every day and you choose to remain committed to caring so much for people that you put their needs before your own. That's love. It cares more about making others happy and filling other people's needs than any selfish desires. The reward built into loving people in this manner is a deep satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else. You know how doing something nice for someone else gives you a sense of personal satisfaction? It feels good to do good, and there's a reason for that. It's God's biblical pattern for living and His greatest command to have love. Love for Him and love for others before ourselves. Be blessed, y'all, and show some love. Hey, love is like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going.